The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire says there are now 5 areas in NCR under moderate risk classification. Speaking at the Laging Handa briefing, Vergeire clarified that the classification is only due to the rapid rise in cases from a very low number of infections in the past week.
Dito sa National Capital Region, we have 5 areas under moderate risk classification. These 5 areas would be Pasig, San Juan, Quezon City, Marikina, and Pateros. Pero uulitin ko po, kaya po sila napunta sa moderate risk case classification dahil nag-umpisa po tayo sa mga mabababang kaso nung mga past weeks tapos biglang nagkaroon sila ng kaso. That's why their growth rate began to increase.
But Vergeire maintained that there is still no reason to place NCR under a higher alert level since hospital admission levels are still relatively low.
Base po sa ating datos, hindi pa po natin nakikita that we will be escalating ang National Capital Region to a higher alert level kasi katulad nga ng sabi ko, mas binibigyan po natin ng weight ito pong hospital admissions natin.
In other news, some human rights groups lauded the ICC's request to resume its probe into the Philippines' war on drugs. In a statement, Human Rights Watch Senior Counsel for International Justice Program, Maria Elena Vignoli, called the request a booster shot for accountability and maintained that those responsible for extrajudicial killings must face consequences. Meanwhile, the National Union of People's Lawyers and Rise Up for Life and for Rights lauded the ICC, saying that they wholeheartedly agree with the resumption of its investigation into the war on drugs. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. As UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson faces renewed pressure to step down as Conservative head, a lot or several UK political leaders are throwing in their hat into the ring to be the next occupant of 10 Downing Street. Let's find out who they are in this Bloomberg Quick Take.
Here are the main candidates to replace Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Jeremy Hunt has been Foreign Secretary and Secretary of State for Health and Social Care. He was runner-up to Johnson in the 2019 leadership election. He presents himself in direct contrast to Johnson. His style is more measured and he appeals to the centre-right traditional Conservative membership. He campaigned to stay in the European Union in the 2016 referendum, and some members of the party have dubbed him Theresa May in trousers. As Foreign Secretary, Liz Truss became a prominent figure in Britain's response to Russia's war in Ukraine, as well as handling ongoing post-Brexit negotiations with the EU. She is part of the libertarian ring of the Conservatives and has encouraged comparisons with their icon. A self-declared low-tax Tory, she supported Remain in 2016. Beloved amongst Tory party membership, she topped Conservative Home's league table of cabinet ministers for a year until February. Sunak rose to prominence during the pandemic after he unleashed tens of billions of pounds to help businesses and workers, causing his popularity to soar. Yet Sunak's star has faded in recent months. Controversies over his wife's non-dom tax status, a perception of him being too slow to react to Britain's cost of living crisis, and a fine for participating in an illegal Downing Street gathering during the pandemic have all hit his reputation. Currently a trade minister, Mordaunt is viewed in the party as having strong credentials, charisma, and good leadership qualities. Mordaunt's mother died when she was 15, and she helped bring up her youngest brother. She worked in orphanages in Romania before going to university, and at one point was a magician's assistant. Defence Secretary Ben Wallace is seen to have performed competently in Britain's response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and during Afghanistan's evacuation crisis. Wallace now sits atop of Conservative Home's league table of cabinet ministers. A former army captain, Wallace entered Parliament in 2005 after previously serving in the Scottish Parliament. He won plaudits in 2008 for his work campaigning for transparency around MPs' expenses. Javid is a second-generation immigrant and son of a bus driver. Before politics, he had a successful banking career. He was made Home Secretary by Theresa May and Chancellor of the Exchequer by Johnson. But Javid's tenure as Chancellor was short-lived. He quit after refusing Johnson's demands to fire his most senior aides. He returned to the cabinet last year as Health Secretary. A self-made millionaire, Zahawi trained as a chemical engineer and went on to co-found the polling firm YouGov. It took Zahawi until 2018 to become a minister, but a stint as vaccines minister, overseeing the UK's successful rollout of coronavirus vaccines, earned him praise and a promotion to the cabinet as Education Secretary in September. Tom Tugendhat is a former soldier who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan and who now chairs Parliament's Foreign Affairs Select Committee. He was the first to announce he would run in any leadership contest. First elected in 2015, Tugendhat supported Britain remaining in the EU. He has been a regular critic of Johnson and is frequently outspoken on foreign policy matters, particularly the need to take a tough stance against China. And here are the potential other candidates: Home Secretary Priti Patel, Business Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng, and Housing Secretary Michael Gove.
The hour. Join us later again at 1:13 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.